I'll start by changing the background color of the project. To do this, I go to the Background tab, choose the color option, and make it light. Then I go to the Scene tab and delete the sphere. I don't need it. By pressing Add, I add a new primitive, a cylinder. I'll be working mostly with it today. Next to the cylinder, a primitive editing window appears, where I increase the division value to add more polygons to the model. Then by dragging the green point down, I make the cylinder smaller. This will be the back base of the earring. Now in the left toolbar, I press the copy button and duplicate the cylinder. I pull it back out and move it slightly above the first cylinder. In the primitive editing window, I add a hole, and an opening appears in the cylinder. There are two blue sliders to control the hole radius on each side. I drag the bottom one down to the maximum, making the lower hole conical. For the top part, I do the opposite. I increase it and make the thickness smaller. Then I go to the Material tab and enable smooth shading for each cylinder. I clone the bottom cylinder by dragging the orange circle on the gizmo, scale it down proportionally, and move it downward. By dragging the green circle on the gizmo, I stretch it to create the pin for the ear. This is the part that goes into the ear, the stud post. I go to the Operation tab in the top right panel and drag the Smooth slider to the maximum several times to smooth everything out. Then I select Crease, press the Symmetry button on the left panel, open the Symmetry settings, choose Y Symmetry, and set Radial to 11. Using this tool, I create notches on the post for the clasp. I clone the bottom cylinder again and turn it into a clasp. The simplest one with a hole, which I also create by adding a hole and adjusting it to the required size. I smooth it a bit. Now I'll add the diamond. For this, you need to download the diamond file from the link under the video, because in Nomad Sculpt, it's difficult to create a correct gemstone cut, so I made it in Blender. To import the model, go to the Project tab, click Import, and select the file. Then press Add to Scene, and the model will appear in your current scene. I scale it down evenly and place it where it should be. If you press the X-ray button in the bottom toolbar, you can see inside the model and check how the stone fits and whether there is enough space. I see it doesn't look right. So I reduce the thickness of the main earring base until the stone fits perfectly. I select the bottom cylinder, choose Validate, and now I can apply smooth to it as well. I adjust the stone a bit more. Now all that's left is to set up materials and lighting. In the top panel, I go to the Quality tab and enable Post-Process. I also turn on reflection, global illumination, and ambient occlusion for more realistic shadows. I add a small amount of bloom, set tone mapping to the ACES profile for a brighter image, and optionally enable grain for a subtle effect. I select the Paint tool and click on the cube in the left panel. This opens the stroke painting window where there are preset materials. I choose silver, reduce roughness to 0.10 for a more reflective metal surface, and press Paint All to apply the material. I do the same for the other metal parts. Then I go to the Shading tab and change the HDRI map to a Studio 1. You can also download it from the link and load it into Nomad. The lighting becomes more professional, and the material looks much better. Now I set up the diamond material. I go to the Material tab and change the material type to Refraction. I increase refractance and index of refraction and press Paint Glossy. You can also adjust glossiness and roughness values for a more realistic look. That's it. You can select all objects in the scene, clone them, and place the second earring next to the first one. I hope you liked the tutorial and that everything was clear. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll be happy to help.